Mission loaded.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledged.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Vehicle. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
New construction options.
Waiting orders.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction
Reporting.
complete.
Acknowledged.
Our
Affirmative.
base is under attack.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
New construction options. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders. Reporting. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Reinforcements have arrived. Our base
Yes, sir.
is under attack.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
New
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
construction options.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very well.
Vehicle
Reporting.
acknowledged.
Building.
Yes,
Reporting.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir.
New
Yes, sir.
construction
Acknowledged.
options.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Our
Acknowledged.
base is under attack.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Mission loaded.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Waiting order. Acknowledged.
Ready and waiting.
Lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit lost. Mission loaded.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Vehicle affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
New
No.
construction
Affirmative.
options.
Vehicle. Acknowledged.
Building.
Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction complete. New construction options.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting. Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Acknowledged.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir.
New construction
Acknowledged.
options.
Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Acknowledged.
New construction options. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Agreed. At once.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Very well. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Mission saved. Construction complete. New construction
Yes, sir.
options. Building.
Yes, sir. Very well. Agreed. Yes, sir. At once. Reporting.
Unit
Yes,
lost.
sir. At once.
Our base is
Of
under
course,
attack.
sir. At once. Affirmative. Of course.
Mission loaded.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction complete. New construction options.
Waiting orders.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Very well. Ready and waiting.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. At once. Very well. Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Very well. Agreed.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Construction complete. Low power. Building. Insufficient funds. Construction complete. Cannot deploy here. Building. Construction complete. Building. On hold. Cancel. Construction complete. Building. On hold. Cancel. Building.
Awaiting orders.
Construction complete. Mission saved. Building.
Waiting order. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Naval unit lost. Mission loaded.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Naval
Acknowledged.
unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Our base is under attack. Mission loaded.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Vehicle. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Our
Affirmative.
base is under attack.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Naval
Awaiting
unit
orders.
lost.
Vehicle acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Reporting.
Vehicle. Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building. Base is under attack. Building. Unit
Yes,
ready.
sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Construction complete. New construction options. Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
is under attack.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Preparing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir.
Reporting.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Mission safe.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Training. Unit
Yes, sir.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Engineering. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Yes, affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, affirmative.
Vehicle reporting.
Yes, affirmative.
Vehicle
Lowering
acknowledged.
power. New construction
Acknowledged.
options. First objective met. Unit ready.
Reporting.
Building. Building.
Ready and waiting. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Vehicle reporting.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Structure.
Awaiting
sold.
order. Agreed. Agreed.
Unit ready. Building.
Reporting.
Base is under attack. Construction complete.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Affirmative.
Unit ready. New construction options.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Repairing. Building. Unit repaired.
Awaiting order. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Building.
Vehicle
Base
reporting.
is under attack. Repairing.
Ready and waiting. Agreed. Affirmative.
Unit repaired.
Affirmative.
Repairing.
Very well. At once.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Reporting.
Unit
Very
repaired.
well. Yes, sir.
Repairing. Unit ready. Building. On hold.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit repaired.
Reporting.
Yes, sir.
Repair.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
Base is under
Affirmative.
attack. Unit ready. Building. Unit prepared.
Waiting orders.
Unit
Yes, sir.
lost. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Unit ready.
Awaiting orders.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Reporting.
Mission saved.
Vehicle affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Waiting orders.
Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Building. Building. Construction complete.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Our base is under attack. Building. Training.
Yes, sir.
Mission saved.
Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready. Training.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Training.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Training.
Acknowledged.
Naval unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
Training.
Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Affirmative.
Naval unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Naval unit
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Our base is
Acknowledged.
under attack.
Acknowledged.
Naval
Acknowledged.
unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Affirmative.
Naval unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Naval unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Acknowledged.
Naval unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Mission loaded. Unit
Yes, sir.
ready.
Acknowledged.
Training.
Affirmative.
Building. Unit ready. Training.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Training.
Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Our base
Affirmative.
is under attack.
Affirmative.
Naval
Acknowledged.
unit lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Reporting.
Very well.
Agreed.
Very well.
Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Base
Acknowledged.
is under attack.
Awaiting orders.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. At once.
Prepared.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. At once.
Prepared.
At once.
Our base is under attack.
Very well.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit repaired. Building. Repairing. Construction complete. Training. Unit
Awaiting orders.
ready.
Acknowledged.
Training.
Affirmative.
Building.
Reporting.
Unit
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Training.
Acknowledged. Yes,
Unit
sir.
ready.
Yes, sir.
Training.
Acknowledged.
Insufficient
sir.
funds.
Affirmative.
Unit ready. Training.
Reporting.
Unit ready. Our base is under
Yes,
attack.
sir. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Vehicle report. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Repairing.
Affirmative.
Unit ready. Unit repaired.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Our
Acknowledged.
base is under attack.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir.
Repairing. Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Repairing.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders.
Unit repaired. Our base is under attack. Mission loaded. Unit
Yes, sir.
ready.
Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Training.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds. Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Report at once.
Training.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Training. Unit ready. Training. Our base is
Waiting
under
orders.
attack.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Training. Unit ready. Training.
Awaiting orders.
Repairing.
Agreed.
Unit ready.
Reporting. Agreed. Agreed.
Affirmative. Very well.
Reporting. Very well. Agreed. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Repairing.
Yes, sir.
Mission loaded.
Yes, sir.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Acknowledged.
Training.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. At once. Affirmative.
Training. Insufficient
Yes, sir.
funds. Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Waiting orders.
Reporting.
Yes, sir.
Reporting.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Our base is under
Affirmative.
attack.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Reporting.
Lost.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Awaiting
Unit
orders.
lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes,
Unit
sir. Affirmative.
lost.
Affirmative. Agreed.
Unit lost. Mission loaded. Training. Unit ready. Building.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Training.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative.
Unit
Yes,
ready.
sir.
Awaiting orders.
Training.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Training.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Training.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Naval
Acknowledged.
unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Mission loaded. Building.
Awaiting orders.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Awaiting orders.
Building.
Affirmative.
Reporting. Knowledge. Affirmative. Knowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledge.
Building.
Affirmative.
Training.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds. Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. 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 Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Awaiting orders.
Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders.
Unit
sir.
ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Reporting.
Low power.
Awaiting orders.
Construction options. Cancel. First objective
Affirmative.
met. On hold.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Mission saved. Construction complete. Base
Yes,
is
sir.
under attack.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Mission loaded.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete. Base is under
Affirmative.
attack.
Affirmative.
Preparing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Building. Mission saved.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Training.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Training.
Waiting orders. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Training.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Training.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Base is
Acknowledged.
under attack.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Training.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Insufficient
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
funds.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders.
Mission saved. Repairing.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Base is under attack.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Reporting.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Our
Acknowledged.
base is under attack.
Acknowledged.
Awaiting
Yes,
orders.
sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost. Building. On hold. Cancel. Building.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Repairing. Repairing. Unit ready. Building. Construction complete. New construction.
Yes, sir.
options.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Low power. Building. Repairing. Construction complete. Unit ready. Building.
Vehicle reporting.
Unit repaired.
Affirmative.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Repairing. Construction complete. Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting.
Unit
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Silence needed.
Acknowledged.
Building. Unit lost.
Vehicle
On hold.
reporting. Affirmative.
Cancel.
Acknowledged.
Silence
Acknowledged.
needed.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Construction
Acknowledged.
complete. Our base is under
Reporting.
attack.
Affirmative.
Unit lost. Silence
Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Silence needed.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Acknowledged.
Repair.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Silos
Vehicle
needed.
reporting.
Acknowledged.
Repair.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Unit
Acknowledged.
repaired.
Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Silos
Affirmative.
needed.
Acknowledged.
Repair.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Silos
Reporting.
needed.
Acknowledged.
Our
Reporting.
base is under
Vehicle
attack.
reporting.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
repaired.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building. On hold. Cancel.
Awaiting orders.
Repairing. Unit lost.
Vehicle reporting.
Unit repaired.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative.
Reporting. At once. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Awaiting orders.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Acknowledged.
Our base
Acknowledged.
is under attack.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Reporting.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Reporting.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Very well.
Building.
Waiting orders. Very well.
Unit lost.
Reporting.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Agreed. Affirmative. Very well. Agreed.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Agreed. Of course. Yes, sir.
Base is under attack.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost. Repair.
Ready. Very well. Yes, sir. At once.
Unit ready.
Vehicle
Building.
reporting.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Training.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Building.
Awaiting
Base
orders.
is
Very
under
well.
attack. Unit ready.
At once.
Training.
Of course. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
At once.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete. Unit ready. Training. Unit lost. Mission loaded.
Yes, sir. Ready and waiting at once. Agreed.
Building. Our base is under attack. Mission loaded. Repairing.
Yes, sir.
Ready and
At
waiting.
once. Awaiting orders. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Yes,
Reporting.
sir.
Very well. Affirmative. Very well. At once.
Training. Building. On hold. Cancel. Unit ready. Training.
Yes, sir.
Base is under attack. Prepare. Unit ready. Training.
Yes, sir. Agreed.
Unit ready. Training.
Agreed. Yes, sir.
Building. Unit ready. Training.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Naval
Affirmative.
unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Building. On hold. Cancel.
Reporting.
Construction
Agreed.
complete. Repairing. Building. Repairing. Repairing. Construction complete. Unit repaired. Building. On hold. Cancel. Construction complete. Building. Unit ready.
Vehicle reporting.
Unit
Acknowledged.
repaired. Low power. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Unit ready. Building. Training.
Yes, sir. Reporting.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir.
Building. Mission saved. Unit ready. Building. Our base is under attack.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Construction complete. New
Yes, sir.
construction options.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building. Unit
Reporting.
lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Waiting
Unit
orders. Affirmative.
lost. Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit repaired. Our base is under
Yes, sir.
attack.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Ready and waiting. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Vehicle. Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit
Ready and
prepared.
waiting. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Acknowledged.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting.
Our base is under attack.
Vehicle
Building.
acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Waiting
Orders.
report acknowledged. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Cannot deploy here. Unit
Vehicle
lost.
acknowledged.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Of course. Affirmative.
Repaired.
Vehicle. Reporting. Yes, sir.
Construction complete. Unit ready. Building.
Reporting.
Waiting affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Prepared.
Waiting
At
orders.
once.
Vehicle
Base is
reporting.
under attack.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Construction
Reporting.
complete. Repairing.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Low power.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Building. Repairing.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Reporting.
Yes, sir.
Unit repaired.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Our base is
Affirmative.
under attack.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Vehicle. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Waiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Repairing.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Building. Our base is
Reporting.
under attack.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Repairing.
Vehicle reporting.
Unit
Yes, sir.
repaired.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Repairing. Construction
Vehicle
complete.
reporting.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Repairing. Our base is under attack. Building.
Vehicle acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building. Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Preparing.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building. Mission saved.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Affirmative.
Naval
Affirmative.
unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Naval
Affirmative.
unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Naval unit
Affirmative.
Our
Affirmative.
base is under
Acknowledged.
attack.
Affirmative.
Naval
Acknowledged.
unit
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Naval unit lost. Unit ready. Building. Our base is
Vehicle.
under attack.
Affirmative.
Naval
Affirmative.
unit lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Naval unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Reporting.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Vehicle. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Our base is under attack. Unit ready.
Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Our base is under attack.
Awaiting orders.
Awaiting orders.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Building.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Mission saved.
Vehicle
Unit
reporting.
lost.
Acknowledged.
Our base is under
Acknowledged.
attack.
Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Naval unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Under
Affirmative.
attack.
Acknowledged.
Naval unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost. Naval
Affirmative.
unit lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit lost. Mission accomplished.
Incredible! We made it disappear and reappear, but with very little control. We lost some men.
But do you have the control problem solved?
That is the heart of the Chronosphere project.
This is where you come in. I wanted you to see this, so you understand the importance of your next mission. The Chronosphere is being tested here, at a research center outside Leich. The Soviets recently learned of its location and have begun bombing it regularly. You must protect this research site.
And the scientists working inside.
Get to the base immediately and fortify it. We would evacuate the base, but months of preparation would be wasted. The buildings and their contents must remain operational until the experiment is complete.
Timer started. Mission saved.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Affirmative.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledge.
lost.
Affirmative.
Our base is
Affirmative.
under
Acknowledge.
attack.
Affirmative.
Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Lost.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir.
Vehicle reporting.
Reporting.
Affirmative.
Our base
Yes, sir.
is under
Affirmative.
attack.
Acknowledge.
Unit lost.
Reporting. Affirmative. At once.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Repairing.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Repairing. Unit repaired.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Ready and waiting.
Silos needed.
At once.
Yes, sir.
Repairing.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Silos needed. Unit repaired. Our base is under attack. Repairing.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Low power. New construction options. Building. On hold. Cancel. 40 minutes remaining. Building.
Very well.
Repairing.
Acknowledged. Well.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. At once. Agreed. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Repairing. Building.
Vehicle
Base
reporting.
is under attack.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit repaired.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. At once. Ready and waiting. Agreed.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative. At once. Agreed. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Our base is
Acknowledged.
under attack. Construction complete. Repairing. Cancel. Building. On hold. Building. Training.
Vehicle reporting.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Training.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Training.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Affirmative.
Training.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Training.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Vehicle acknowledged. Affirmative.
Construction
Waiting order.
complete.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Reporting. At once.
Repairing. Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit repaired.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Waiting
Base
orders.
is under attack.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting.
Repair. Building.
Acknowledged. Agreed. Agreed. At once. Agreed. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Reporting. Affirmative. Agreed. Very well.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Very well.
Our base is under
Reporting
attack.
at 1. Of course.
Repair.
Ready and waiting. At once. Yes, sir. At once. Yes, sir. Very well. Affirmative.
Lost.
At once. At once.
Training. Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Training. Unit ready. Training.
Vehicle reporting.
Construction complete. Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Training.
Vehicle reporting.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction options. Building.
Waiting order.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Reporting.
Affirmative. Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Ready.
Acknowledged.
Base is under
Affirmative.
attack. Unit ready. Building.
Waiting order.
Affirmative. Vehicle reporting.
Repair.
Yes, sir. Waiting orders. Vehicle acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit repaired.
Vehicle
Building.
reporting.
Unit ready. Mission saved.
Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Reporting. Affirmative. Very well.
Construction complete. Building. Unit ready. Building.
Reporting. Agreed. Affirmative.
Repair.
Ready and waiting.
Yes, sir.
Construction
Of
complete.
course. Yes, sir.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. At once.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Vehicle reporting.
Mission saved.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Vehicle reporting.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders.
Mission saved.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders.
Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building. Our base is under attack. Preparing.
Report at once. Yes, sir.
At once.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ready in the course. Yes, sir. At once. Very well. Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Building. Building.
Awaiting
Agreed.
orders.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building. Building.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Prepared. Our base is under attack. Prepared. Unit ready.
Vehicle
Construction
reporting. Yes,
complete.
sir. Yes, sir. At once. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit
Of course.
lost.
Very well.
Building. Preparing. 20 minutes
Yes, sir.
remaining.
Reporting. Very well. Affirmative. At once.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
prepared.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
Lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Ready and waiting.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building.
Vehicle affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Low power.
Affirmative.
Building. On hold. Cancel. Preparing. Unit ready. Building. Construction complete.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Base is under attack.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative.
Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders.
Yes, sir.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Mission saved.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
10 minutes remaining.
Waiting order.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready. Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Ready.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Awaiting order.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Prepare.
Affirmative.
Naval
Affirmative.
unit lost.
Waiting affirmative.
Our
Acknowledged.
base is under attack.
Yes, sir.
Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds.
Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building. Repairing.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Our base is under attack. Repairing. Low power. Repairing.
Vehicle
Unit
acknowledged.
ready.
Acknowledged.
Unit repaired.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Warning.
Acknowledged.
5 minutes remaining.
Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Our base is
Acknowledged.
under attack.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Vehicle acknowledged. Vehicle
Warning.
reporting.
4 minutes remaining. Repairing.
Yes, sir.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Unit
Vehicle
repaired.
affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Repairing. Warning. 3
Yes, sir.
minutes remaining.
Affirmative.
Unit repaired.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle affirmative.
reporting.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit repaired.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Repairing. Warning. 2
Affirmative.
minutes remaining.
Awaiting affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Unit
Affirmative.
repaired. Warning. 1 minute remaining. Mission accomplished.
Commander, I believe we may well be at the turning point of this war. With Stalin's Iron Curtain offline, and the success of the Chronosphere, victory is finally within our grasp. However, there is still much to be done. One of our spies has confirmed our worst fears. The Russians have developed a weapon greater than anything previously known. An atomic bomb. Stalin plans to unleash these bombs on several European cities. If he succeeds, all we have worked for, as a race, as allies, will be for naught. This is Major Vladimir Kosygin, one of Stalin's key atomic strategists. Intelligence indicates that he has vital information on Stalin's plans for this new weapon. Kosygin is appalled by Stalin's methods and is ready to defect. Apparently, Stalin plans to use his own troops as sacrificial lambs to draw our forces into a trap. Once we take the bait, he drops a bomb. You will find Kosygin here, in the Riha compound. Direct the spy past that compound's defenses and to the command center. Once you reach Kosygin, get your APCs in and Kosygin out.
Reinforcements have arrived. Mission saved.
Yes, sir. At once.
Ready and waiting. Agreed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ready and waiting.
Reporting. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
New construction
Agreed.
options.
Affirmative.
Building.
Agreed. Agreed.
Construction complete.
At once.
New construction options.
Awaiting
Building.
order. Agreed.
On hold.
Very well.
Cancel.
Agreed.
Yes, sir. At once. Very well.
Ready and waiting. Very well. Reporting. Very well. Agreed. Very well. At once. Affirmative. 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 At once. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Mission loaded.
Yes, sir. At once.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Ready
Very
and
well.
waiting. At once.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
New construction
Acknowledged.
options.
Yes, sir. Agreed.
Building.
Agreed. At once.
Construction complete. New
Awaiting
construction
orders.
options.
Very well.
Building.
Agreed. Agreed. Affirmative. At once. Very well. Very well. Very well. Very well. Agreed. Very well. At once. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Affirmative. At once.
New construction
Yes, sir.
options.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Very well. Agreed.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Very well. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction complete. Cannot deploy here. New construction
Yes, sir. At
options.
once.
Building.
Ready and waiting. At once. Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
Acknowledged. Very well. At once. Affirmative. At once. Affirmative. At once. Very well.
Construction complete. New construction options. Low power.
Reporting.
Training.
Affirmative. At once.
Building.
At once. Affirmative. Very well.
Construction
At once.
complete. Unit ready.
Reporting. Very well. Agreed.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Agreed. At once. Affirmative. Agreed. Very well. Affirmative. Very well. Very well. Agreed. Very well.
Yes, sir. On my way.
Reporting. Knowledge.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. On my way.
New construction options. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Commander. Indeed. On my way.
Unit ready. Building.
Awaiting or knowledge.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Reporting. Agreed. Affirmative. Agreed.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Waiting orders.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Awaiting
Building.
affirmative. Acknowledged.
Mission saved. Unit
Vehicle
ready.
reporting. Affirmative.
Building. Unit
Yes,
ready.
sir. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting.
Mission
Reporting.
saved.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building. On hold. Cancel. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction complete.
Reporting.
Mission
Acknowledged.
saved.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Waiting affirmative.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Very well.
Base is under attack. Unit. Mission loaded.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Awaiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Vehicle
Unit
reporting.
lost. Mission loaded.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Vehicle reporting.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Mission loaded.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Vehicle affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative.
Unit lost. Mission loaded.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Awaiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Commander. Indeed.
Unit
Indeed.
lost. Unit lost. Mission loaded.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Awaiting order. Affirmative.
Vehicle
Yes,
reporting.
sir.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Vehicle. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Affirmative. Very well.
Commander. King
Base
and
is under
country.
attack. Unit lost. Mission loaded.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Awaiting orders.
Vehicle
Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Vehicle reporting.
Yes, sir.
Base is under attack.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Vehicle
Acknowledged.
reporting.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Awaiting orders.
Yes, sir. On my way.
Lost.
For king and country.
Unit lost. Building infiltrated.
Commander, move out.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Of course. Of course. Of course.
Mission saved.
Yeah, of course. Move out.
Mission failed. Mission loaded.
Commander, of course. Of course.
Our base
Of course.
is under attack. Preparing.
Waiting order. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes. Of course. Move out. Of course. Move out. Move out. Move out. Of course. Move out. Of course. Of course. Move out. Of course. Of course.
Mission loaded.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Preparing. Our base is under attack. Building. On hold.
Waiting order.
Cancel. Building.
Commander, of course.
Unit ready. Building.
Waiting order. Now affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir? Affirmative.
Commander, move out. Move out.
Unit ready. Building.
Reporting. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Vehicle
Building.
reporting. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Awaiting order. Knowledge.
Vehicle reporting.
Unit ready.
Reporting. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir.
Mission saved.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Naval unit lost. Mission loaded.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
At once. Agreed. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Vehicle
Unit
report
lost.
acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Our base is under attack.
Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Yes.
lost.
Move out. Move out.
Naval
Of
unit
course.
lost.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative.
Yes. Of course. Move out. Move out.
Naval unit lost.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Naval unit lost.
Commander? Of course.
Building. Building.
Yes. Move out.
Construction complete.
Of course.
New construction options. Building. Unit ready.
Yes. Move out. Of course. Of course. Move out. Move out. Move out. Of course. Of course. Move out.
Unit ready.
Of course.
Unit
Report
ready.
affirmative.
Building.
Yes. Move out. Of course. Of course.
Yes, sir. Knowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Commander? Move out.
Vehicle reporting.
Yes. Of course. Move out.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit
Yes, sir.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Commander? Of course.
Reinforcements have
Move
arrived.
out.
Proceeding.
Move out. Of course.
Base is under attack.
Move out.
Naval unit lost.
Of course.
Mission accomplished.
How many atomic bombs does Stalin possess?
At least 4 2-kiloton warheads are in production. But there is much even I do not know. Much we are not told.
Stalin's speech is coming on.
Comrades,
That woman. Stalin's paramour, correct?
I can think of better word to describe her. Yet, Bоже мой. On Pomazhny, he is mad. How can he do this?
Explain, Kosygin, what are you talking about?
Stalin! He announced he is telling everyone he's threatening to destroy the world. His missiles are ready. He's preparing to launch.
Is this possible?
A week ago, no. But now, who knows? This does not sound like a bluff. Even now, a great purge tears through the Kremlin. Your allied force becomes too powerful. In his fury, Stalin kills his own people. More death, more dishonor.
The Russians are manufacturing missiles at this site?
This factory's main site. We call it Temные Vassadniki, the Dark Horsemen. Commander, you must destroy it. Everything. Scorched earth.
Establish a base first, then move in on the command center. Get a spy inside, and neutralize launch capabilities. Once the missiles are neutralized, destroy the facility. Everything. Scorched earth.
Reinforcements have arrived. Mission saved.